Doris Duke was born in New York City in 1912. She was the only daughter of James Buchanan Duke and his wife, Madeline Duke. And at the time of her birth, the day after she was born, the New York Times ran a story about her being born and referred to her as the $1 million baby, the richest little girl in the world, because she was the heir to her father's fabulous fortune. And that name kind of stuck on her, and she lived out a good part of her life in the glare of that kind of media interest and constant coverage. She first came to Hawaii as one of the last stops on the 1935 honeymoon and landed here in August of 1935. And when she left, she told her friends, I really want to buy property here. And when this piece of property became available, she purchased it in April of 1936. Shangri-La is really an extraordinarily beautiful place. It's in what was the private home of Doris Duke and is now open to the public for them to enjoy her remarkable collection of Islamic art amassed over a nearly 60-year period, much of which is embedded into the building: ceilings, walls, doors, floors, carpets, large architectural textiles. It's a marriage of a remarkable oceanfront site with amazing views, 1930s architecture, and Islamic art. The main axis runs from Diamond Head through the playhouse, across the water features, the cascades and the pool, right through the center of the living room, and culminates in the most important work of art that is in her collection, and that's the 13th century Iranian ceramic mihrab or prayer niche that is the real masterpiece in the collection. It's a very deliberate and powerful connection.
Through the art, visitors can gain access, and maybe it's a way to stimulate further understanding. I think people will walk away with a greater appreciation of the complexity of the Islamic world, of the history of the Islamic world, and perhaps most importantly, just a positive experience.
Our mission is to promote the study and understanding of Islamic art, and that is actually language that is in her will. That is our mandate from her as the founder. It's not done to show off. It's not done to attract public attention. It's done for entirely personal and private means, and so that's why I say I think it has very little to do with celebrity. In my opinion, I don't view it as being extravagant. It's certainly grand, but from the beginning, the whole conception for the place is really about privacy and about seclusion. You look at the way the property is configured. For me, that was the big challenge, is, moving away from interpreting it as being her house and moving towards the bigger mission and the bigger purpose, which is help people understand the Islamic world better.
I think the most challenging part is coming up with a concept and trying to imagine what I could do and then materialize it. That's the hardest part. And like most artists, refer to life experiences or issues of concern. And for me, of course, that deals a lot with the Native Hawaiian situation. Veritas is truth. And, I started off imagining this piece at 8 feet tall, 8 inches by 8 inches. I knew exactly what it was going to look like. I knew exactly how many I was going to create. And, you know, it's 1 cell per year of my life. So it will continue to grow until I die. For me, it really culminates when they are in place. When it was on the beach, I was like, oh my God, this is what I wanted to feel when I saw these. It was a really moving feeling for me. The responsibility lies in trying to produce the best work that you can. You know, quality work that for me means something and hopefully means something to other people. It's trying to create work that goes beyond yourself. I do think one should try to be better than what you think you can do.
I love to work with materials because I think you can learn so much by interacting with them. And the materials I work with is with encaustic, which is painting with molten wax, colored molten wax. The wax is put into a container in a water bath, melted down till it turns clear, and then it's colored with either a powder pigment or maybe an oil paint type pigment. And then you can just dip a brush in it and paint. It's got some terrific qualities to it, but I found over the years that it's layering it and then you can carve it back. It's like any art form. It's a matter of discovering all the different ways to get effects. Then that becomes your vocabulary. And what I'm doing continually in my mind is shifting through my options. I know how the material will act now, so I'm shifting through my options, my vocabulary of techniques to try to think what would be interesting next. It's in the making process, in the process of making the thing, because I usually will have an idea of the feeling that it needs to create. And so I'll generally have an idea of what I would like a piece to feel like. Then that'll guide everything along the way. And then usually what I try to do is do the least that will cause the greatest reaction. It really is a matter of trying to trust and let things happen.